Let's keep it authentic. It's a story that hasn't been told in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
It is the biggest mission that any secret service has ever done. The commandos don't look like the way I am in commando. They are not these big build guys, but it's
Yeah.
a fantasy. This is how we like to see them. What is a hero? A hero is somebody who's gone through a situation in a very daring or a great way. I feel proud to represent India in any form.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling.
Hey guys, my name is Shravan Shah, and today I'm going to be having a conversation with the super talented Vidyut Jammwal in the house. What's up?
What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm happy.
What happened to the energy? You said you'll bring the same energy with you.
No, energy doesn't mean shouting and screaming.
I am not shouting and screaming. That's just my energy.
No, I know your energy. I'm saying my energy
Okay.
is subtle, soft, gentle.
Nice. So yeah. Now coming from that to actually IB70. One. Forgot to add that. So when you play a character like this, एक तो काफी interesting trailer, and again something that I didn't know about that happened. Okay. When you're a part of a story like this, this is a real life incident, right? It's not fictional. You've not fictionalized it. This is something that happened. How much of a research that goes into something like this, and how much of, when you're playing a character like this, are you like, hey, you know what? Okay, this is of course the basic story of what has happened. I'm going to take it a notch up with probably adding an arc to the entire thing. Do you do that?
So with me, I got this story. The idea came to me, and it was about the Intelligence Bureau.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for a while. I've been watching movies, and we've never really had a movie on the Secret Service. Like, I've played an agent. I've been a commander in the movie. We've got such spectacular movies on the raw agents. But when I go out there, I'm an army kid. My father was in the Indian forces. I meet people and I ask them about the American Secret Service, which is CIA, like the Russian Secret Service. They know KGB. They know about all the secret services, but they're not very sure about what is the Secret Service of India. So as an army officer's kid, and I'm as an Indian, and I really thought that I'm aware of the Secret Service. I've lived with some people. I've been raised around the same environment. Why not make a movie on it?
Yeah.
Let's keep it authentic. It's a story that hasn't been told in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
It is the biggest mission that any secret service has ever done.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to speak about it, but now is the time. So why not me take it further and just produce a movie on it?
Yeah. But listen, when you do something like this, also because you mentioned, you're an army kid, whenever there's a film that's made on Indian Army, let's say, and of course you watch it as an audience, but there's also another thing to it, right? You're an army kid also. Do you also watch it from that lens that, hey, because growing up, your childhood was different than other children out there. You were probably always on the go in terms of wherever your dad was, being located, and you had to adapt to the environment irrespective whether you liked it or no.
Yeah, you're right.
You couldn't keep the friends that probably you made. All of that, and I think that plays a lot of role in shaping the kind of person you become eventually, right? The first one coming from there is, did that affect you in a way when you were growing up?
No, it didn't affect me. Like, you have the propensity to make friends easily then, because you're trained to move on.
Yeah.
And you have great memories of people. But in today's day and age, you can go and connect with people. I've connected with everybody that is from my past. But it's a different experience altogether.
Yeah.
You go to different schools, you go to different places in the country. From the north of India, suddenly you reach the south of India, where the dialect is different, the communication is different, but they are all the same people. They're the same breed because their father's also in the defense services.
Yeah.
So you get friendly. As an actor, I can befriend anybody because I have the ability to meet people on a normal level.
Yeah.
So all these are advantages that I have experienced. Yeah.
What are the disadvantages? Were there any disadvantages though?
Not really. I promise you there's no I can't see any disadvantage. I think to be a better human being, you get to know more about different people.
True.
I was in a school where, we call them bhaiyas, the person who's supposed to help my father with his daily chores, his son would be in the same class as I would be.
Yeah.
And so we were friends. So I've been raised in an environment where if you like somebody, they're your friends. It doesn't matter where they come from, who they are, who they will become.
Yeah.
I've been raised in an environment like that.
Yeah. And to where the question had started, that when you watch a film, of course, because you know so much, then everybody else would know, because again, upbringing आपका वही है, environment का. Does it probably sometimes pinch you that, hey, yaar, you guys didn't probably showcase this aspect properly in a film?
No, initially, when I was doing Commando, when I was very fastidious about this is how the uniform should be, this is how you should salute, this is how you should stand. I was very aware of it. But then I realized that movies is a little phantasmagorical. It has to go a little a notch higher than what it is. The Commandos don't look like the way I am in Commando. They are not these big build guys, but it's a fantasy. This is how we like to see them. So I realized that we can mix reality with a little bit of fantasy in it, and people do enjoy it.
Do you also think it's not only about whether it's an army film or whatever, but it's just Indian cinema? We are so used to watching heroes larger than life that if sometimes when we are served somebody who is just like a guy next door, a girl next door, it takes us some time to adapt to that and be like, hey, this is also a hero. Not all heroes look a certain way. Do you think that's actually it's a conditioning that we have, and now we are, getting used to not that condition?
It's different. Like, what is a hero? A hero is somebody who's gone through a situation in a very daring or a great way.
Yeah.
Like, who supported more people than not supported people.
True.
Or he stood by something. That's a hero in our cinema.
Yeah.
But that is the hero. It could be a shopkeeper also who's done something which is heroic. He could have saved lives. So cinema has been evolving, and since I've been watching it, since I've been enjoying it, it doesn't exist anymore. Like, a hero is somebody who's just done the part right. Yeah. Like, when they ask me about IB, I tell them, apart from me being the leading man, when you watch the movie, when you see the journey, when you see the mission, you realize these 30 people were all heroes. They all were heroes.
Yeah.
Like, they stood by him, he stood by them. They stood by the nation. They're all heroes.
For IV71, once you've done the film, of course, there is this, you may say it or not say it, but there's subconsciously this agenda that, hey, this is my way of giving back to my upbringing a little bit, right? Does it give you that satisfaction in your heart that, hey, I did something that probably I've heard in bits and parts somewhere at home, or, in my upbringing when I was, in a school?
I feel proud, like, to represent India in any form.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling. Like, I've been playing different characters like Commando. And I like the fact that when I go to an airport and I meet the CISF personals over there, or if I go to a border to meet people, the BSF, when I meet these army personals or the defense personals, I really feel proud of the fact that I've represented them well. I feel very nice to click pictures with people in uniform, because then they go home and show them that this is the commander, this is who we are in real life. So I feel proud being one of them. I feel proud that I'm representing a certain part of the country which a lot of people are not lucky to represent.
Yeah, makes sense. Is there a genre that Vidyut really wants to do that probably you've not tapped into properly?
Action Films is producing the first extreme sport movie out of India. I wanted to always do that because I live a life like that. And in India, we have a lot of people who live that life on a daily basis, like climbing onto trains at that speed, jumping onto buses, taking a rickshaw. Everything is hectic. We are living an extreme sport life every day.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a story because I'm one of them. I've been raised doing difficult things, which when somebody comes from abroad, they say, hey, you'll die, but we do this for a living. Yeah. So why not make a movie on the extreme sports of India? So that's what I'm doing. I always wanted to do it.
That is so cool. And the last one coming your way with it. If the 15-year-old Vidyut was sitting here right now, what would you tell that 15-year-old Vidyut?
What a good life you're leading, dude. Enjoy it to the fullest because you're enjoying it. You're just doing it right. Just don't do it any other way. Just do it the way you are doing it.
Perfect. But thank you so much for talking to me. I hope you enjoyed this conversation.
The best part was your energy levels. They were so calm yet so aggressive. I liked it.
Thank you so much. Hoping to see you super soon. This one looks fab, like I said at the start. Looking forward to this and to many more such conversations. Till then, this one is a wrap.